that rely on the 16th December last year, former President Jacob Zuma announced that government would be phasing in fully subsidized free higher education and training for poor and working-class South Africans over a 5-year period. Starting this year, free higher education and training will be available to first-year students from households that have a gross combined annual income of 350,000. The Minister of Higher Education and Training will lead the implementation of this policy, while the Minister of Finance will clarify all aspects of the financing of this scheme during the budget speech next week. In addition to promoting social justice, an investment of this scale in higher education is expected to contribute to greater economic growth, to also help in reducing poverty, to reduce inequality, and to enhance the earnings of families and to increase the competitiveness of our economy. Government will continue to invest in expanding access of quality education and improving the outcomes of our public schools. The Funza Lushaka Bursary Program plans to award 39,500 bursaries for initial teacher education over the next 3 years. In a historic first, from the beginning of this year, all public schools have begun offering African languages. Also, what is significant is the implementation of the first National Senior Certificate Examination on South African Sign Language, which will be offered to deaf learners at the end of 2018. The Accelerated Schools Infrastructure Delivery Initiative, ASIDI, program continues to deliver modern facilities to our schools, particularly in the rural areas and underprivileged urban areas across the length and the breadth of our country, with at least 187 schools being completed to date. The program will complete all outstanding projects by the end of the next financial year. Social grants remain a vital lifeline for millions of our people living in poverty. We will urgently take decisive steps to comply with all directives of the Constitutional Court, and I want to personally allay the fears to all our people of any disruption to the efficient delivery of this critical service, and I will take action to ensure no person in government should undermine the implementation deadlines that have been set by the court. We will finalize work on a permanent public sector-led hybrid model, which will allow a set of public and private sector service providers to offer beneficiaries maximum choice, access, and convenience. This year, we will take the next critical steps to eliminate HIV from our midst. By scaling up our testing and treating campaign, we will initiate an additional 2 million people on antiretroviral treatment by December 2020. We will also, yes, cheers. We will also need to confront lifestyles, diseases such as high blood pressure, diabetes, cancers, and cardiovascular diseases. In the next 3 months, we will launch a huge cancer campaign similar to the HIV counseling and testing campaign that we launched. This will also involve the private sector, as we need to mobilize all resources in our country to fight this disease. The time has now arrived to finally implement the universal health coverage through the National Health Insurance. The bill is now ready to be processed through government and Parliament will have the bill submitted to it in the next few weeks. Certain NHI projects targeting the most vulnerable people in society will commence in April of this year. In improving the quality of life of all South Africans, we must intensify our efforts to tackle crime and to build safer communities. During the course of this year, the community policing strategy will be implemented with the aim of gaining the trust of the community and to secure their full involvement and cooperation in the fight against crime. The introduction of a youth crime prevention strategy will empower and support young people to be self-sufficient and become involved themselves in crime-fighting initiatives. A key focus this year will be the distribution of resources to police station level. This will include personnel and other resources to secure capacity and experience at the level at which crime is most effectively combated. In recognizing the critical role that NGOs and community-based organizations play in tackling poverty, inequality, and related social problems, we will convene a social sector summit during the course of this year. Among other things, this summit will seek to improve the interface between the state and civil society and also address the challenges that NGOs and community-based organizations face. Building growth, development, and transformation depend on a strong and capable state. It is critical that the structure and the size of the state is optimally suited to meet the needs of the people and ensure the most efficient allocation of public resources. We will therefore initiate a process to review the configuration, the number, and the size of national government departments. Now, many of our state-owned enterprises are experiencing severe financial, operation, and governance challenges. And this has impacted on the performance of the economy and has placed a great deal of pressure on the fiscus. We are going to intervene decisively to stabilize and revitalize state-owned enterprises. The recent action we have taken at Eskom to strengthen governance, root out corruption, and restore the financial position